Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. I am so happy and so grateful that we have reached this month, Alhamdulillah. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Ramadan habit stacking ideas from suhoor to iftar, and also this tahajjud routine that is really helping me. Habit stacking is this really simple yet effective technique where you take a habit you already have and then you pair it with a new habit that you want to develop. So for example, if you want to start walking more, what you could do is start walking every time you get a phone call. Starting with the tahajjud routine, which actually starts the night before, making sure that you go to bed at a reasonable time and just get enough hours of sleep so that when the tahajjud alarm rings, you're not in bed convincing yourself to skip. I sleep around 10 and Fajr is around 5. And so what I do is I wake up at 4, and so that hour gives me enough time to read tahajjud, read Quran, do all my morning duas, and still gives me enough time to set up and have suhoor. Now at suhoor is actually where the first habit stack comes in. While you're sitting at the table, you've just woken up, put on like a tafsir podcast or a YouTube video, any Islamic lecture, you're already too sleepy to talk. So why not spend that time learning something? And I feel like once you've gotten into the habit of starting your day listening to something like that, even after Ramadan, it's quite likely that you're going to go back and listen to some of those same podcasts. The algorithm will make them show up for you. Second, after you're done with Fajr, why not just sit there on the prayer mat for a few more minutes, read Ayatul Kursi, and read this dua. This will count as if you were worshipping from the time of Fajr to the time where the sun rises. And it won't take you more than 30 seconds. Another habit that you can build literally from your bed. I know most of us reach for our phone the second we wake up, which is fine because you can habit stack it into meaning something positive for you. Give charity. Making a bank transfer is going to take you less than 1 minute. You're already on your phone. Why not start the day with giving charity? Now, those are a few simple morning habits. There are other habits that you can stack throughout the day. For example, anytime you leave your house, recite Ayatul Kursi. And with time, increase the number of times you're reciting it. So if you're going on a really short walk, try reciting Ayatul Kursi the entire way. Even if it's not Ayatul Kursi, pick any zikr. These azkar are so light on our tongues and so heavy on our scales. These are the perfect habit to stack because no matter what you're doing, as long as your intention is focused, your tongue can keep repeating these words. It's very simple. But the weight that these words hold will help us tip the scales in our favor on the Day of Judgment. So similar to what I suggested you do for suhoor, listening to a podcast, listening to an audiobook, some Islamic lecture, this is something you could also do throughout the day. Anytime that you're doing anything around the house, any household chores or exercising, I don't recommend listening to the Quran like this because you don't want to use it as something in the background. You want to give your full focus and attention to it. But this is a great habit to stack for lectures and podcasts. Okay, so this isn't really a habit to stack, but set up some time in your day just for the Quran. Whether it's reflection, recitation, memorization, just set up some time in your day that is just purely for the Quran. It is easier to do right now because we're in Ramadan and we want to push ourselves, but maybe this is a habit that will stick with you throughout the year. For any of these things, don't think कि ये बहुत छोटी सी चीज़ है. Don't think that this is too small to make a difference or like you're not doing enough. Oh, I can't take an hour out of my day right now. What's even the point? Why should I just do this for 15 minutes? I should give the Quran its due right. You absolutely should. And giving the Quran its due right is picking it up and reading it and spending time with it, learning it, memorizing it. And so if you are able to spend 15 minutes every day, know and just give yourself the tasalli knowing that the acts that are most pleasing to Allah are the ones that are done continuously, even if they are small. So the two main checkpoints of our days in Ramadan are suhoor and iftar. We've talked about the habits you can stack around the morning time throughout the day. For iftar, if you just sit down at the table 5 minutes before, you actually know that it's going to be Maghrib, you can sit at the table and you can do your evening azkar. And you can spend these 30 days just repeating those evening azkars. So even at Eid and even after Eid, when you sit down to pray Maghrib, you already have this habit of reciting these evening azkar. I know there's a lot of sending food and giving gifts around this time, especially around Eid as well. Something as simple as giving those gifts, sending out that food to your neighbors, you can turn it into an act of worship. You're doing those things already. This is the easiest habit to stack because you're already doing the thing, and the only habit that you need to add is setting your intention. Think about how the Prophet ﷺ told us to give gifts. And when you're giving somebody a gift, just have it in mind. I'm doing this because the Prophet said that we should. Have that intention, Ya Allah, I'm doing this for your pleasure because your Prophet told us to. It could not get any easier. The last habit stack I'm going to talk about, we all get into bed at the end of the night. So you're already pretty solid on that habit. What you add on top of it is reciting Surah Falak and Surah Nas thrice. You recite it onto your palms, you blow on your palms, and then you wipe your hands over your body. This is something that you can literally do laying in bed. And I think this is a habit that you can easily set in Ramadan, because I know we have that feeling when we're done with the day, we're done with Taraweeh, we've read Quran, and we go to bed and we still have this feeling of, oh, it's Ramadan, did I do enough today? And so working off that feeling you already have, you can do this right before you fall asleep. And again, it is a simple habit. I feel like all of these are simple habits, and we're already part of that Ramadan momentum. We have a golden opportunity to set up these habits and set ourselves up for success for the coming year. And there you have it. These are your ultimate Ramadan habit stacks that will help you make the most of this sacred time. I really want to know what are some habits that you're developing in Ramadan. I would love ideas. Also, you commenting will just make me really happy.